Hello everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming asking you not to adjust your monitor. It's clearly not going bad because this is 2020, you don't have to worry about things going on the fritz in such a gradual manner. We're playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors today. This is a real gem from the Super Nintendo, and I could tell you that personally because I loved this game, and I didn't even own a Super Nintendo. You know those games you didn't really play so much on your own, but you went out of your way to play anytime you were over a buddy's house who had it? This is that game for me. We're going to play as the girl today because she's cool. She's got a hat. Her gun is... well, they're basically the same character. You just choose boy or girl, and the boy with the spiky hair just not feeling it today. So we got girl in the ball cap. If they have names, you could feel free to let me know. I don't get much into the backstory of this game past the title. Zombies ate your neighbors, killing the property value, so we gotta fix that. Here we are in a weird sort of section of town where we're in backyards and a cemetery. Classic arcade game, just plays beautifully. Actually sort of forgot about it. Felt like a real putz today. A coworker brought it up and I'm like, yeah, how did I not have this for Retro October? So it quickly became today's upload. Honestly, wasn't 100% on putting a video out today, feeling kinda tired, but we will do it for the zombies, we will do it for the neighbors. Just sort of running around, shooting with the gun. The way these things work, you got limited inventory space, and the first level is always kind of easy as pie anyway, so I just went ahead and stuck with the basic gun. There I almost got hit by a zombie. Gonna jump on the trampoline here, you just sort of walk into it, and the goal is to run into all of your neighbors and rescue them before the zombies get a chance to eat them. Tasty brains and whatnot. Clearly you don't want them munching on your brains either. The gray matter's kind of important to your own preservation. The trampolines are just so much fun. Gotta save the dog. 500 points well earned there. Don't know why the cheerleaders are 1,000. Also don't know why I tried to shoot one there. Pick up that fire extinguisher. Just about everything you pick up there is going to be useful. It's going to be a weapon or a special item or something. Past the old sandbox there, also known as the outdoor litter box. And there's level 1 for you. Got 7215 before it totals up the points we get for saving people. And hey, all victims saved bonus. Which raises the question of, are they victims if we saved them? Well, you know, greater moral quandaries of zombie attacks for another day, I suppose. Here we go into level 2, got more than enough ammo, and really gotta wonder why the first guy we're saving is a gung-ho military guy. Maybe he's one of those sort of dudes who just got a little decked out at the surplus store and really has no clue what he's doing. Which would kind of be me in this game. Just sort of winging and hoping for the best. I know what the zombies are, and I know they are the enemy. Just disregard that one time I tried to shoot the cheerleader. See, better that time. Didn't shoot her at all. There's a pool, and you know, anytime you run into a pool in these games, there's going to be some dude lounging in it. So we'll go ahead and rescue him, floaty and all. And this is a fun part. The little girl's bouncing on the trampoline, and you have to get on there as well, but you gotta bounce in time with her to catch her. Pick up the grilling dude. Shame he couldn't make us a burger or something. We should have probably asked, shouldn't we? Oh well. It is weird how oblivious your neighbors are to the zombies as well. I guess they're used to this with holiday shopping coming up and whatnot. Just tons of zombies roaming around. Yeah, retail joke. Feel free not to laugh. There's a little baby. Gotta save the little baby. You know, if we can actually run into the thing. 700 points for the baby. That's an adorable 700. Guess the designers of this game are more into kids than dogs by about 200 points. As you know, the children are our future. Here's a random bunch of items. We're going to go ahead and pick them up and, you know, grab a hold of the cheerleader too. I wonder if they're doing a cheer to direct you to them. I mean, they aren't. Not in the sound of the gameplay at least, but it's headcanon for me that they're cheering S-A-V-E, save me. Feel free to let me know how awful that was. So I realized I was sort of trapped here, and then I remembered that earlier I picked up those bazookas. Turns out the bazooka, aside from knocking you back a little bit for firing it, is great for punching holes in shrubbery. Cans of explosive soda grenades, not so much. Something really missing in the world as far as wacky 90s video game weapons, by the way. Exploding soda can grenades? I mean, that's just great stuff. There I tried a bazooka there. I wasn't sure if you could just blow up any part of the shrubbery with the shells or if it was just specific areas. Now I did see that zombie come through there, so I knew there was a hidden door. And there's the little wild thornberries guy. Let me know if you remember that show. Nighttime has descended on the neighborhood. Got hit a couple times, so I'm going to burn my first aid kit just to stay at full health here. Pick up the safari dude and finish our level. We're up over 17,000 already, which is a much better score than my gameplay should lead you to believe I should have. As you see, we don't get a little good job for collecting all the victims, so one of them truly was a victim there. My apologies. Heading into the third level, now we got two army dudes just kinda chilling in the mall. Seems like a weird place to see people in full-on military gear, but hey, again, 90s, zombie invasion, you kinda gotta go with it. These zombies are popping up far more frequently, and oh my god, was this escalator the bane of my existence. I thought I just couldn't get up the one side, and then it turns out I was going up the wrong side. Finally got myself lined up to catch the baby before the zombies did. And now we're going to walk through these shattered areas. There you see some little axe-wielding children. And I decided to check out what that random vial I picked up was. Turns out it's a potion that turns you into a big purple monster, which was probably the coolest part of this playthrough for me. Having a little rampage moment here, but still cognizant enough to rescue a baby delicately as it runs through. Got two blue fists up there by the health meter, not sure what that means. Not gonna lie, I was kinda hoping that potion would be like a partial heal, since I knew the first aid kit was a full heal. Wears off, so there's our transformation and our last key, so we used it to get into the old meat locker here. Random cheerleader dancing in the meat locker, that's gotta be a health code violation. Picked up a mystery potion, we're gonna give that a shot and it turns us blue. Think this was just a damage invulnerability, which I tested out by flossing my teeth with that little demon baby's hatchet. So I'm just gonna kinda run around here, not sure what the two blue flames there are either. If you know how to trigger those or what they do, feel free to let me know. So that's over with and we're back to our normal weapon allotment, and man, those hatchet wielding children are just the worst, aren't they? They run so fast. Just cardio for days. Surprisingly resilient to point-blank gunfire, too. I believe they would call that a game balance issue these days. Back then it was just, oh, tougher enemy. Now it's unrealistic. Because we're worried about realism in our zombie invasions, am I right? Moving through the fresh food section, checking out by the checkouts there. Another demon baby drops us to 0 and we faint down. I think we're just going to play the game over here. In part because I've already done this playthrough and I'm just recording commentary, and in part because that felt like a good stopping point anyway. So just gonna kind of mill around. You just sort of poke around looking for any potential townspeople to save. I guess once there is nobody left to save, the round ends. There I just threw a popsicle. Not sure why, but you can't not throw a popsicle, I guess. Did that kid just jump out of a giant box of cereal? Is that a toy box? Is it called a Fun Buddy? Because if that box literally says Fun Buddy and a demon child with a hatchet popped out of it, best toy ever. In case you're wondering, it's commentary like this on games like this why I flat out say that this channel is not made for kids. You want your kid to watch this, feel free to go ahead. I'm not going to tell you how to do you. Just don't allow them to jump in any Fun Buddy boxes after watching this. You may regret the decision. Come to think of it, don't let your kids jump in boxes. That seems dangerous for several reasons. Maybe gently place them in, as long as they meet the weight requirements. I don't know. This is a weird topic. Can we change the topic? Of course we can. We're not even talking. Just gonna go through here, and again, I'm trying to figure out how to get to that first aid kit, and the bazooka comes in handy. Go ahead, switch up, and I just can't seem to get the sequence of my items, so I go through about 4 times before finally getting the first aid kit and getting my health back up. Still up over 450 bullets, but those are going to deplete rather quickly as I just decide to start firing in random directions and hope an enemy hitbox just wanders through the hail of gunfire. I know I've got to get around that way, which means once again using the escalator, and once again failing several times at using a simple escalator. And then once again, like a putz, I decide to walk the exact way the floor was broken down. Now here I think I'm going to be clever, and I'm just going to take the demon baby down one shot at a time. It's thrown its little hatchets diagonally. Wasn't that cute? Wasn't that cute? It couldn't even hit me, the poor little guy. So we're looking, there's a couple there just sort of chilling on the other side of the wall. So we're going to walk down this way past these mannequins and save Earl and Phyllis. We'll call them Earl and Phyllis. You choose which one's Earl. So we're nearing 30,000 points. This seems like a pretty decent total, and we hit level 4, which is about as far as I could get in my younger days. But again, I didn't own this game. I played it when I was over friends' houses, and I was terrible at it, and they would make fun of me. Good times. Call that character building. Got some chainsaw wielding psycho here. Really into the Friday the 13th movies from what I can tell. Not so much into bazooka shells. Unfortunately, that about taps me out, and I got these little clown things. Don't really know what the clown things are going to do, so I'm going to avoid them for now. It took me a while to realize it, but that should have been a pretty good indicator there that if I didn't try to kill the chainsaw wielding psychos and I just tried to dodge them, they would flat out open the hedge mage up for me, including getting to people to rescue. Don't know why I never thought of that before. Simple answer, I'm not that smart. See, told you the fire extinguisher comes in handy. Temporarily freezes them. There I go ahead, and now I'm really out of bazooka shells, and Chainsaw Dude's still alive. And manages to take me down in short order, but in the process he takes out a little bit of extra shrubbery and reveals another purple monster potion. So we're just gonna pop that, and turns out if you hit the right button while you're the purple monster, you can break that shrubbery up all on your own. Another thing you could do while you're a big purple monster is punch the crap out of these chainsaw dudes. Literally punched him until he exploded. Again, I believe in 2020 the term for that is tough love. We killed him with kindness. It was just a vigorous high five. Violence is not the answer, unless you're on Jeopardy and they ask you what isn't the answer. Then you probably want to go with what is violence. That'd be a paradox, wouldn't it? Because it would both be the answer and not the... Well, technically it's a question because all answers are in the form of... I'm not going on Jeopardy is what we can take away from this. Here I should have just ran around the guy, but for some reason I'm thinking I could just shoot him 5,000 times and he won't thaw out. As you could tell, my strategy is not working the best. I should just be letting him hack away here so I could get to the cheerleader and I could get to the baby and we could get through this level. But instead I decided I don't really need my internal organs inside. Perhaps they would work better as external organs. Now that was kind of funny there. I thought I missed him and he fell over. He soccer flopped on that one. There, that felt like a pretty direct hit and nothing. So it's sort of balanced. And again, I'm sort of running out of options here, so I throw another soda can grenade, and then I finally try the clown thing, and wouldn't you know it, it's a little rubber clown decoy. Apparently, the chainsaw dudes really hate clowns, because they go right for that sucker every time. Even I would have guessed by the third or fourth one that they weren't real, because they're all identical and they just sort of bounce back and forth. Also, surprisingly resilient. You know, they take a few whacks with that chainsaw to go down. It's almost like those cheap rubber balls that are half inflating. You're like, this thing's gonna pop to nothing, and then 10 years later it's still half inflated and everything around it has crumbled to dust. You know those ones. You get them out of the quarter machines. Occasionally you grab one out of the claw machine when you were trying to win a real prize. Yeah, those. Now I'm just dropping clowns for the hell of it. It's fun. It's been 10 feet, let's drop a clown. Forgot I was out of keys there. Just kept running into a door. This is clearly where my intelligence is petering out. But we do grab Barbecue Dude. Just noticed it was only 5 points for him, but 100 points for the food on the grill. So at least he's a good cook. That's my takeaway from that. Did I just throw a tomato? Yeah, I'm just sort of going through my inventory here. I'm absolutely at a loss. Watching back in hindsight, I should have just let the chainsaw dudes just work their magic on the shrubbery. I mean, if you got people doing the hedges, let them do the hedges, right? You don't go out there and tell them how to do the hedges. You just let them work. If it's too high, go clip it yourself. Most controversial thing I've said all week. Go clip your own hedges. Little baby locked away in the shrubbery. You know what? It's okay that zombies are eating these neighbors. They're letting infants run around in hedge mazes. Speaking of run around, I finally realized I had shoes in the inventory. Safe bet for 90s games, or really any game. If you have shoes in your inventory, they're going to make you go real fast. We sped up, found Earl and Phyllis there. Still got to figure out how to get the caged baby. Still haven't got the caged baby. It doesn't seem to mind though. Must be a warm day. Probably hasn't relieved itself yet. Okay, enough diaper humor. That wasn't even funny. What is funny though is our like 12th clown related casualty, and I'm gonna say 12. I know I've dropped 13 of them, but I never saw that one get taken down, and it's pretty much headcanon for me that it's still out there somewhere. I, however, am done, as you could see the purple goo coming down for the game over, so we're just gonna call it here. Thank you for watching very much. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming.